One.
So welcome to this university. This university is known for its diversity, equity, and inclusion. So this university should overall be welcoming. However, there's actually a right way and a wrong way to treat students and university members with different identities. So everyone's different. They have different identities, different appearances, and different behaviors throughout. That we are committed to respecting every single identity and actually promoting diversity. We also have learned from the past and how we can we treat minority groups with very different identities as well. Here's the wrong way and the right way to treat them. Well, we'll just circle back to the past and do a little bit of time travel. So going back a few hundred years ago, we used to treat people very, very differently, even based on their appearance. At first, based on race, we used to have slavery at first, especially in the South. And that we used to own people based on race. However, at about more than about 160, 50 years ago, after slavery was abolished, we still had some racial segregation. But not only do we segregate in racial and minority groups, but also the quality of society is very, very different among different groups as well. The standard of living in historic times was very different between a white, well-behaved person than a black, misbehaved identity in the past. But though as time moves forward, we try to integrate society through like the Civil Rights Act, the American Disabilities Act, and many other acts. However, there is still some work that needs to be done, I guess. Well, there's some minority groups, especially with mental illnesses and disorders, who does impulsive actions and the university will probably need to have work on that. For example, based on the current guidelines that I'm seeing, some minority groups, especially the disabled and those with mental illnesses and some disorders that causes them to struggle with avoiding inappropriate behavior. There's a still chance that these groups can still get suspended or expelled, which is very, very harsh and unfair for them, and that's why I wanted to move on and actually go on this right approach. For example, we should be able to treat everyone equal no matter who they are and how different they behave. So while we have made a significant progress in promoting diversity and inclusion, there's still some work that needs to be done. For example, we should not consider race and other related identities and gender and disability and other religion and other factors identities as factors in determining whether this identity should be committed or accepted or not. There's also factors whether members with certain identities or standings maintain a position or standing. Instead of treating minority groups with behavior conditions unseverely through suspensions, expulsions, terminations, firings, these groups should be treated with a more of a restorative approach, counseling and therapy to help them thrive while helping them behave and integrate the group into society. Not to mention that everyone should be trained with and deal with certain groups through course module trainings, meaning that we should have an actual course for new students that emphasizes on each sort of identity and how to treat them. Since we already have training on courses affirming equal diversity, but we have not got training on how to deal with groups with diagnosed with disorders regarding different behaviors. So it's kind of hard to tell if someone has a condition based on their behavior. Note that one of the signs to watch out for if someone has a condition or a mental condition is their behavior. Like even my speech that I'm talking about right now, like my speech may be different because my brain processing is much more different than most of you got. Also, if there's any inappropriate behavior around campus, the reporter needs to check if this person who engaged in inappropriate behavior has a condition, and if it does, they should treat them with counseling and actual therapy because they are committed to behaving like I do. So after comparing these two approaches, we probably need to make some changes. This fall semester, as I followed one of the unlucky groups, and that before I behaved a lot more differently than the normal society. I'm not even sure. After next week or something, I may or may not need to drop or withdraw from this class because of how the university would treat me based on my pattern of behavior. I have no idea if I will ever be suspended or not, but pray for me that I will not get suspended and that they will just treat me with justice and use the right approach. Please, I want you to pray. And that you gotta care for me, and that you gotta help me behave, and that you gotta help me get through college the way I wanted to. I don't want the university to discriminate me and my identity groups through suspensions, being fired, and terminations. Please. This outcome is really not acceptable for my society and for this society, please. And everything. So the responsibility and the disciplinary section about dealing with people with different identities should actually be changed, and that we need. So this because I am entering this period, and this fall semester is essentially an uncertainty whether I will complete this class or not. Thank you for listening.